morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1K8, Thursday. Well, Thirsty Thursday action. That's good coffee. Just dunking. You know what I did recently? I switched over. I was using, the coffee spoon, whatever you call them. It's like double sided. So there's a small and a big spoon. Well, for all this time, and it's like, ooh, strong coffee. I don't like strong coffee. I like it. I don't like weak coffee. I like it just in the middle, just right. Was that the Three Bears Goldilocks? Was that the porridge? So just the other day, today's Thursday, so maybe like Tuesday, I happened to look at the spoon, the double-sided spoon that I have, that I scoop my coffee. The small says like medium roast, and the big side says something like strong. Now, those are not the exact words, but I'm like, oh my God, I've been putting way too much coffee. No wonder I don't like my coffee half the time, and I'm pouring more cream in, and it's still like, I don't like it. I was doing 3 scoops of the big side, which I think I was over coffeeing from, my liking. I know some people like just pour it in, like fill that damn carafe with their coffee, and it's like mud. I don't like that. So I've been using 3 scoops on the small side, and my coffee is quite tasty in the morning now. So I think I was just putting too much in. I had a comment last night on my video from yesterday. Somebody was upset that I was talking about what I had for dinner last night. So I was actually going to title the video today, I ate salmon for dinner last night. But I do have a topic that I wanted to address. I was going to address it yesterday, but then we had Grailgate going on Twitter. So I wanted to talk about my Grail. So dude wears my cards. And I had my tinfoil hat on regarding Topps Pro Debut, but I did talk with a card shop owner this week, which helped me take my tinfoil hat off and put it in the cabinet for another day. So I don't have my tinfoil hat regarding Topps and some of these new releases. At least right now I don't. That could change. So yeah, somebody was upset that all he talked about for the first 3 minutes was what he had for dinner last night. And I'm like, man, you should have stuck around, because I probably talked about what I ate for dinner for 15 minutes. You're lucky you only sat through 3 minutes. What a waste of time. So if you're watching, we're 3 minutes. If you're watching, it's kind of what we do around here. And it ain't for everybody. I understand that. But for those that don't like it, don't watch it. Move along. I did have salmon for dinner last night. It was just kind of a run of the mill salmon. My wife makes, she puts this crust on. I really liked it at first, and then so did she, and so she was like kind of overdoing the crust, and it's like I'd get that face, and I'm like, okay, can you just make me regular salmon? I kind of miss regular salmon. So now she's like, can I put like a little bit of topping on yours? And I'm like, yeah, okay, that'll work. So we had salmon, asparagus, makes your pee smell, and gnocchi. I love me some gnocchi. Yesterday, I received a text. That read a little something like this. Where is it? Where are we at? Yesterday afternoon, I received a text from my wife that says the refrigerator door is open. I'm like, damn it. I'm like, what? Like, aren't you at work? Like, at the office work? And she followed, before I'm like, wait, what? She followed it up with, I just got a notification because I set everything up on the app, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know that it was a smart refrigerator. That's a good selling point for LG or whoever, whatever, Samsung, whatever refrigerator we have. I don't know. You can yell at your husband for leaving the refrigerator door open when you're not even home. Haha. However, when I went upstairs, I checked the refrigerator. The door did not appear to be open. So I opened it and I closed it. And I texted my wife. I said, it's closed. It's not open. She goes, well, can you check the drawers? I'm like, Jesus, this refrigerator's smarter than I am. So I opened it back up and I found the culprit. It was my wife's prosciutto, because she has prosciutto and cheese and like on her sandwich at lunch, and her prosciutto was sticking out, and so the refrigerator door was not sealing, so that's why it alerted refrigerator door open. And I'm like, I think I found it. Your prosciutto was sticking out, so it wasn't me. Isn't that, as husbands, isn't that like the greatest feeling in the world? When you get blamed for something and then you realize it wasn't you. It doesn't happen often. But when it does, it's gratifying. So I did not leave the refrigerator door open. What else did I do yesterday? Shipped and listed and shipped. What? The Biscuit still got an upset tummy. She was okay. When was the accidents? The accidents were on Tuesday. So we were kind of careful with what we were feeding her, and she was good on Wednesday. But then yesterday morning, because I was working in here and the backyard is on the other side of the camera, and Biscuit's out again. And so when I went upstairs, my wife said that she got the runs. Upset belly. I think she threw up again yesterday morning also. Fortunately, both issues were outside. And then when we went for our walk, so we skipped lunch, went for a walk. And she's like in good spirit. Like she's, doesn't appear like she's upset. So we went for a walk, and all of a sudden she like gets in her poop squat, and it's like oh, that's gross. Enjoy your breakfast. So yeah, she had the runs, and then she had the runs again last night. So, and then she ate dinner. We just gave her a normal dinner, and she as the days get shorter, usually 9:00 is like, that's her bedtime. Like Biscuit is ready for bed at 9:00. Like she has what we call her perch, where she has a blanket on top of the couch, and so she can get the lay of the land. She can see all four corners of the house. So at like 9:00, she'll jump down, and she's like, hey, it's 9:00. It's time to go potty. And as it gets darker earlier, so does her like bedtime. It'll be like 7:30, and it's like, it's dark. I'm ready for bed. It's like, Biscuit, no, it's not time to go potty. You just went potty a half hour ago after dinner. It's not 9:00 yet. So last night, so we try to like, and sometimes my eyes are getting heavy on the couch at 8:30, and it's like, oh my God, I still have a half an hour before I can go to bed because I force myself. And you're like, well, that's silly. You should go to bed when you're tired. But when I go to bed early, like if I'm tired at 8:30, by the time I get up and I move around, I walk down to the basement to my bathroom and brush my teeth and get ready for bed. By the time I do all that, like I'm awake again. And then I get into bed and I'm like not tired anymore. And then that tends to keep me up longer. Whereas if I just go at 9:30, do my thing. Like, I'm like, oh man, I'm tired. I get into bed. It's like, oh, okay, this is normal time. And I fall asleep faster. So it was about 8:15 last night, and Biscuit's like scratching at the door. And, my wife's like, it's not 9 o'clock. And like, she was pretty adamant that she wanted to go outside. And it was more so like, I've got to go take a shit, man. Like, this isn't my bedtime. Like, I just need to go out and poop. So I'm like, I better go take her out. So I went and took her out, and she had another case of the runs last night. So I don't know what it is. Like, initially I thought, well, it was probably maybe the burger from Monday night upset her tummy. And that's why she was sick on Tuesday. But then Wednesday went by and she's eating like we don't give her human food. Well, outside of the burger. We didn't give her salmon last night. We just gave her regular dog food. So hopefully her tummy issues get figured out. So, but she's in good spirits. It's just she got the shits. So, and she has puked a couple times. But other than that, she's like wants to go on walks. We met a new puppy. This is the best part of moving into a new neighborhood. It's not having new neighbors. It's having new neighbor dogs. So I love meeting new neighbor dogs. And we met a new neighbor dog yesterday on our walk named Bubba. And Bubba is a Westie. I love Westies. Like, I want and my wife grew up with Westies. So maybe in the future I can talk. We're not going to do 2 dogs. We tried that a couple of years ago. That was not a good idea. But maybe down the road, we'll get a Westie. So Bubba, the Westie. I love Westies. Westies are like the coolest dogs ever. Besides Biscuit. So we met Bubba on our walk. And Biscuit's kind of like weird with other dogs. Like, she likes people. Biscuit likes people more than dogs. I like dogs more than people. So it works out. Biscuit can meet the humans and I can meet the dogs on our walk. It works out perfectly when we're out walking and meeting the neighbors. Biscuit, meet the human. Bo, meet the dog. So some dogs, and it's weird, like like I thought maybe it's the breed of dog that she just doesn't like. We had an instance back when we lived the first house my wife and I lived in. There was an elderly lady that lived a couple doors down from us who had a golden retriever, which are typically like pretty chill dogs. But I think this golden retriever was kind of a younger puppy. And I probably had some like behavior issues. I mean, not all dogs are going to be, fit the mold of the rest of their breed. But this dog like came out and chased, like was like trying to get Biscuit, like was tied up, but like broke away from his chain. Like he was like on a leash in the driveway and we're just walking Biscuit, da, 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 da. And all of a sudden this dog comes, breaks free, and, Biscuit's going nuts, crying and screaming. I'm trying to grab Biscuit. I finally get Biscuit and the dog's like jumping up and the lady comes running like, oh, he's never done this before. Well, it's the first time for everything. So, but nothing bad happened. Probably just a little, Biscuit probably doesn't like golden retrievers now, but it's weird. Some of the dogs, like, she'll get along with great. And then there's other dogs that she just like, I don't want you to sniff me. I guess humans are kind of the same. Like some humans where it's like, hey, don't get near me. You smell weird. I don't want to talk to you. And then there's some that are like, hey, what's up? Dogs are the same. Where are we at in the chat? We've got Hall of Fame card collector here. What's going on? Good morning. Happy Thursday. Where's your cards? Fortunately, my cards are now on a UPS truck or plane somewhere between Virginia and Wisconsin. Let's see. David's in the house. What's up, David? Good morning. Brian Wolf is here. Good morning to you. Todd Richardson, what's happening? A collector's dream. Hello. Hello, everybody. Every time I see hello, everyone, I think of the scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when what's her name? I can't think of it. But she goes, hello, everybody, when they walk into the Griswold house. Donald, good morning. Steve's in the house. Good morning. Happy NLCS Day in Arizona. Let's see. Diamondbacks, Phillies. Enjoy. Steve's rooting for the Diamondbacks. Let's see. Is it a 2-0? I'll root for the Diamondbacks just to make it a more competitive series. Set Cards, good morning. Great recovery from Blowout shipping those pro debut cases. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Blowout Cards, Topps Pro Debut, Fanatics, shipping, logistics, which was a former in my former life. So I'll kind of add some context regarding transit and all that stuff from what I've learned about this debacle, the latest Topps debacle. Good morning, Flawed Thinker. Uncle Rich, good morning. See what I mean? Coffee talk is almost as good as food talk, and you just can't get these topics on any other sports card webcast. That's what we're here for. Decent enough like percent, but you all know what to do and Bo give the spiel. Hopefully we're above Kyle Schwarber's batting average this morning, above the Mendoza line. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Merle's in the house. What's up? We may even get an update on Biscuit's bowel movements. You got it. Dan is here. What's up, Dan? Yeah, can you imagine the guy that was bitching about me talking about my dinner last night if he listened to my 15-minute monologue about Biscuit's diarrhea? Wouldn't that be shitty? Max, good morning. I'm glad I wasn't able to make it live yesterday. I think I may have been in the vast minority. What did we talk about yesterday? Oh, Grails. We talked about Grails yesterday. Just George. Hey, I liked the name. Focus Tilt was like, I'd see that name pop up, but now I know it's just George. Good morning. Harlan's in the house. What's happening? Steve says, did you send her a pic to show her it was the prosciutto sticking out and it wasn't your fault? That's a good, I should have. I should have. This is why. Here, honey, this is why the refrigerator door was open. It's your fault, not mine. It's your prosciutto. I think she did believe me because she did apologize. She goes, "Oh, okay, sorry about that." She also texted me last night. I was down here still working a little bit after dinner last night, and she sends me a photo of our TV, and it was top picks for you on our TV. Top picks for you. 1K6 Hobby Evolution episode 1006. And I'm like, you should watch it. It's a good show. She did not, nor does she watch the program. I'd probably be in the doghouse. I'd probably have to be pooping in the park because I wouldn't be allowed in the house if my wife listened to the show. Carlo does vintage. Good morning. Merle says, don't you hate it when your wife has their meat hanging out? Oh, God. Kyle, what's up? Good morning. Brian says, dogs with food names are hilarious and fun. Grandpa had a wiener dog named Schnitzel. Feel better biscuit. You know, my favorite dog names. Now, I love this has nothing to do with dogs or names, but it has to do with food. I love food candles. So now we're getting into the holiday season. Right now, it's probably pumpkin spices everywhere. But as we get into like November and December, candles are a big thing in the holiday season. And I love food candles. My wife hates food. Basically, anything I like, my wife doesn't like. Anything my wife likes, I don't like. We are like the extreme opposites in like pretty much everything. but I love food candles. I love like baked apple pie candles. What some of the cinnamon, the cinnamon. I keep thinking in my mind cinnamon toast crunch, but not that. But like a cinnamon streusel candle. I love food candles. Okay, for dog names, I love names of dogs like Bob. I think I also the dog that we met yesterday on our walk, Bubba, because Bubba's just this small. He was kind of a bigger Westie, so he was probably 20, Biscuit's 10 pounds, maybe Bubba was 15 or 20 pounds. So I think that's kind of, it's like tiny, and it's like this gigantic Doberman, tiny. But I like Bob, Bill, like just like old dude names for dogs. My dog's name, I only had one dog growing up, Boomer. So here's Boomer was actually not going to be Boomer had been Boomer. So we got this dog as a puppy, black lab. And I was in, how old was I? 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade when we got Boomer the black lab. And his name was Boomer. I never really got to name my pets. My parents, I think I had a hand, like we probably, growing up in the 80s and 90s, like gerbils and hamsters were like pets. Is that a thing anymore? That's so gross. They're like little rats and they stink. So we had like the first hamster or gerbil I had, my dad named it. My mom's like, "Oh, I love that name. Let's name it." And I'm like, "But I wanted to name it." I can't remember what the damn hamster's name was. But Boomer came, and so I had a name. It was going to be a different name. Do you know what my dog Boomer's name was going to be? Beavis. My poor dog's name was going to be Beavis. Yes, after the MTV show Beavis and Butthead. It could have been worse. I could have named him Butthead. Which actually is kind of cool for a dog name, Butthead. Come here, Butthead. Come here, Beavis. But I was going to name it Beavis. And it already had the name Boomer, although he was just a little guy. He was just a little puppy when we got him. So he wouldn't have known any different. But Boomer stuck. So he was Boomer. Boomer the black lab. That was the only dog I had. But Boomer, so we got him. I think I was in 6th grade when we got Boomer. And he passed away. And he was kind of getting sick, but then he got hit by a car. And we had to put him down. And I think I was in college. So he lived probably like the average life for so what's now he was a little young. So he was probably like 9 when he died. Boomer. Rich says, "See, there is the biscuit update." Yes, sir. Big John, what's up? Good morning. James says, "Pro debut got some new weird inserts." I haven't seen all of them. I saw the like echoes, which I think is a super short print. But I haven't seen too many. They finally put a checklist out, so I did see the checklist, which looks okay. Flawed Thinker says, "Love listening to this while I'm eating breakfast." I should have warned you. Max says, "I'm being reminded why I don't have pets." Mark says, "Good morning, Max Scherzer stinks." Merle says, "I'm leaving town for a few days. I set up listings to drop each day I am gone. Does that help on the eBay algorithm anymore?" I think anything that you do within eBay will help the algorithm, as long as there's some activity going on. As long as there's something going on, it helps. It doesn't necessarily have to be listings every day. I mean, I think if you update listings, if you send offers, and all that. I think that does just as much as dropping new listings each day. I think adding, I've mentioned this many times before, I think the reason people say, oh, you've got to list every day for the algorithm, it's not for the algorithm, it's just for sales. The more you list, if you list consistently new inventory, you're going to likely, if it's good inventory at a good price, there are caveats here, but if you're listing good stuff at a good price, it's going to sell. So I think people get wrapped up in, I have to list every day, but that's not necessary. As long, for the algorithm's sake, as long as you're just doing stuff, which obviously includes adding listings, yes, that will help. But also just responding to messages, just being within the eBay app, showing the spiders inside eBay that are controlling, that are puppeteering the algorithm, that, hey, this account's active. Give it some boost power. Max says, just need to be trained properly. That's the major issue with dogs. The owners, absolutely 100%. Everybody afraid to discipline, just like kids. Yes, I agree. Fortunately, most dogs that we've run into are very well behaved. Let's see. Red Light 34 says, we'll have your 3D printed card holder done this weekend. All right. Sweet. Flawed Thinker says, well, my son lost his baseball game last night, but upped his OBP to 800 through 11 games. He's definitely the Mike Trout of his team. No matter how good he is, it takes a team to win. There you go. Just George. The photo was too long, and I didn't want to go back to the original flavor of KBO collections, so I'm Just George. I like it. It's got a good ring to it. Just George. Dave's in the house. Good morning. I was wondering if CDP provides updates when certain new sets are in their system. No, but that's a good point. You know, if they could, like, because they do send, I think they send out, I ignore like a lot of emails that I get, but yeah, if they like send an update like, hey, these new sets have been added to the database, that's pretty good. I'll pass that along. Brian says, question for the chat. You see a lot posted of 30,000 cards, 70% junk wax, but some early 2000s as well. Rookie, stars, all of it. What's a fair price to pay per card? I know it's tough without seeing it. Something like that. Oof. Like half a penny per card. Like that's probably my starting point, depending on what I see. Like if the rookies and stars are just kind of like $1.75 cards on eBay, then yeah, I'm probably going half a penny, and I'm probably not paying much more than a penny per card. So that's, you know, that's on me personally. And sometimes you can't find deals like that. I've been fortunate that I can, and I have been able to find those types of deals, and I think we'll only continue to find those deals and better as we go along, because, man, it's a soft market. I'm going to share some, I still have it. I ran some numbers yesterday after the show, so I just want to share that. It's a soft market. So when your volume sales, keep what I'm going to share in mind. So that's where I would be at. I'd half a penny per card. And then, you know, I'm probably not paying much more than a penny per card on something that you described there. Big Harv. So you would love our new puppy, Walter. Yes, I love it. Walter. It's a great name. Boomer Carl Kruger was our first dog for our kids, died about a year ago. I'm sorry to hear that. Did I pronounce your last name correctly? Is it Kruger or Kroger? Is it like the grocery store, or is it like Freddie? Royals 417. What's up? Good morning. Mark says, we love Christmas candles. Our house smells like a Pier 1 during the holidays. Love it. We need more candles. Let's see. Where are we at? Kyle, good morning. My buddy has a dog named Dude. He's a single guy outdoorsman. Our dog is named Pickle, as my 4-year-old named her. You can tell the owner by the dog's name. That is funny. That is funny. Dude. That's a good. Joe Caprino, what's up? I had a goat named Beavis. Called him Beavis the Wonder Goat. Love it. Beavis the Wonder Goat. We got my first cat when I was 8. I got to name it. I chose Ridges since her mother's name was Ruffles. As we all know, Ruffles have ridges. I love it. Love it. Ruffles and ridges. Tom says, anyone in the St. Louis area? There's a game-worn jersey memorabilia card expo in Collinsville this weekend. Doubletree Hotel. Hey, do you know what else is in Collinsville? The world's largest bottle of ketchup. Yes, you can see that in Collinsville. So if you're on your way to the Game Worn Jersey Memorabilia Card Expo in Collinsville, Illinois, hit that up and go take your picture next to the world's largest bottle of ketchup. Mark says, my childhood nickname was Boomer after George Scott. Some of my childhood friends still call me Boom. Very cool. My name is Bo, and hi, Bo. And I grew up in the Bo Jackson, the prime Bo Jackson. I was a kid when Bo Jackson was, Bo Jackson. And so I still regularly get called Bo Nose. One of my friends calls me Bo Diddley from the Bo Diddley, Bo Jackson commercials from Nike back in the early 90s. Good morning, TD Sports Cards. Kroger, side note, I was born on Friday the 13th. Parents could have been cruel and wisely chose Brian. Yeah, that could have been cruel. Merle says, I wasn't going to go to the card expo, but now I will so I can see the ketchup bottle. There you go. Let's, just so I don't leave. So just in case you're not going to Collinsville, Illinois, we'll just show you world's largest ketchup bottle. Okay, but here's what annoys me. Oh, wow, here's a pretty cool picture. Okay, there's one thing that annoys me about the world's largest ketchup bottle. Can you pick out what annoys me on this ketchup bottle? So it's actually a water tower in Collinsville, Illinois. The world's largest. It's not ketchup, it's catsup. I hate that word. Yes, Brian, catsup. What the hell? Catsup? It's a fucking ketchup bottle. Ketchup. It's not Heinz. No, it ain't Heinz. It's Brooks. So I wonder, I don't know the history behind it. I wonder if Brooks is like the Brooks tomato products. Gerhard Suppinger of the Brooks Tomato Products Company when the company decided to erect the bottle. Catsup. So is ketchup like, is that trademarked by Heinz, the word ketchup? So Max says apparently it is catsup. Is that, what the hell? Catsup? I hate that word. I hate that word more than supper. Catsup? Catsup. So that must be this. See, I'm learning something new today. So does Heinz have the let's Wikipedia this. Ketchup or catsup is a table condiment with a sweet and sour flavor. The unmodified term ketchup now typically refers to tomato ketchup. Let's see. I want to find out why it's called catsup. Just a silly name. Catsup. So it's Hunt's catsup, which is terrible, by the way. Well, this company, Brooks has a ketchup. Snyder's is catsup. Here we go. Ketchup and catsup are condiments usually made with ripened tomatoes. The term ketchup with a K is more popular in most countries. The ingredients used: tomatoes, sugar, salt, vinegar, cinnamon. See, I didn't know cinnamon was in ketchup either. Are pretty much the same in both ketchup and catsup. Let's see. So catsup is popularly used in some parts of the US, Latin America, and Mexico. Ketchup is used in most parts of the world. Both words are derived from the Chinese ketchup, a pickled fish sauce. It made its way to Malaysia, where it became ketchup and ketchup in Indonesia. Catsup and ketchup are acceptable spellings used interchangeably with ketchup. However, ketchup is the way it's popularly used today. Catsup, which dates to the same time, may well be a different romanization of the same word, trying to come closer to a sound that doesn't really exist in English. This is interesting. It's like boom, boom. It's kind of like when you say root or route. It's the same thing. Interesting. Catsup. I hate that word. Catsup. Catsup. Ketchup. Ketchup. Dave Richard, who are the good rookies in Topps debut? There are no rookies in Topps Pro Debut. Topps Pro Debut is a minor league product, hence no rookies. All prospects. Just George says it's American Go Chujang pepper paste. Heinz changed it as a marketing ploy. Reminds me of poo. Catsup. Tom says the old style 6-pack in lacrosse has been repainted recently. Saw it last Friday. Oh, very cool. Let's see. Shane says catsup, ketchup. No matter how you spell it, it tastes terrible. They both suck. Oh man, that's a hot take. I cannot agree with that. My mother, the notorious MIL, is from Pittsburgh. So of course she loves ketchup. We'll be at a fancy restaurant and she will ask for ketchup. She puts ketchup on everything. It's got to be Heinz, of course, being from Pittsburgh. I am team ketchup. I enjoy ketchup. It depends, but I enjoy ketchup. Max says agreed 100%. Shane, probably the most overrated food item out there, right up there with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Wow. Max, terrible takes this morning. Zach and Porter, good morning. Dogs up, cats down. Max says, so it's okay to gatekeep a word for a condiment for not what a grail is, stirring the pot. Yes, I am going to gatekeep the word ketchup. And let's just gatekeep other vocabulary words. I'm going to gatekeep crick and creek, and I'm going to gatekeep supper. I hate that word, supper. Maybe I just don't like, maybe supper, maybe that's the root of my dislike for catsup. Sup is the root of supper. But I'll say, what's up? Sup. Sometimes I say sup, like I'm hip and cool. Sup, Max. But I don't like catsup, and I don't like supper. Victor, the rookie guard specialist, good morning. Victor is like the sex bots. When Victor's AI goes off with somebody mentioned rookie in the chat, and guess who appears? Victor, the rookie card specialist. If it's mentioned in the chat, I heard the word rookie. The rookie whisperer. Victor's in the house. Shane says it's super overrated. I'm sorry, but when I tried it once with a French fry, I didn't even taste the fry. So what's the point of it if you don't taste the food? Well, I mean, it's kind of like, so this is what it's a condiment. So it's supposed to enhance the taste. You probably put too much ketchup on your French fry. If you put too much on it and it overrides the taste, I agree. But if you just dip and you have more French fry, it's all about the ratio. Like you've got to have a good ketchup to French fry ratio. You can't just smother a French fry in ketchup, because then you are not tasting the French fry. You have to have a delicate balance of ketchup to French fry to make the world go round. So try it again with less ketchup next time. By the way, the best condiment with French fries mayo, but not your off the store shelf Hellmann's. You got to have the good stuff, the aioli. Aioli. Get a little aioli and dip your French fry in some aioli. Don't smother it. Got to have a good balance. TD Sports Card says, I actually like barbecue on my hot dogs and fries. And I'll put ketchup on a hot dog. See, I'm not from Chicago. I can do that. But I also like putting like other stuff on my hot dog. Because, and here's my thing about hot dogs. Hot dogs are terrible. There's a reason Chicago dogs, there's a reason why they put everything in the kitchen sink on a hot dog, because the meat sucks. And you have to dress it up with all of this other shit to make it taste okay. That means the food sucks. If you have to dress it up with 17 different condiments to make it edible, then it's a terrible product to begin with. Hot dogs. Hey, I'll eat a hot dog. I don't give a shit. I'll eat a hot dog. And I can eat a hot dog with just limited condiments. I don't need to have all the bells and whistles like on a Chicago dog. I can do ketchup and mustard and I'm okay. Sometimes a little relish. That's usually it. Ketchup and mustard and I'm okay. Tom says, being from Maryland, we put Old Bay seasoning on everything. Hey, that's good stuff. Old Bay is some good stuff. Just don't put catsup on a hot dog. What about wash and wash? Yes. You can't say wash. I'm going to gatekeep that too. Washing machine. Isn't there a ketchup card in A&G? Yes. Yes, there is. Let's see. Harry Callahan. David says, grandkids named their dog Pasta. That's a fun name for a dog. Max says, a grail is something that would be a grail to everyone. See, I disagree with that. Mantle and Wagner, the only two I can think of for baseball. See, and I have no interest. I have zero interest in a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. I have zero interest in a Honus Wagner. Those are not grails to me. They may be to you and to other people, but it's not a grail. And we went through, Max, go back to yesterday. We went through the definition of what a grail is. And so that's not a grail to me. Just George, I ate a hot dog topped with mustard and sauerkraut for lunch today. Delicious. I enjoy sauerkraut. I don't put sauerkraut on a hot dog though. I put sauerkraut on a brat. So on a brat, I put on the sauerkraut on a brat. People got to look in the mirror. TD Sports Card says, yes, there's a ketchup card in A&G. Shane says it's wash. Don't even get me started. Fires are just ketchup spoons. You dip? Haven't heard that in a while. You dip? Flawed Thinker says fries are just ketchup spoons. It was just a little dip. Definitely did not smother the fry. Trust me. Huh. Shane, it's okay. The catsup people just eat shitty fries. Get ranch on fries. You know, I'll dip my fries in just about anything. That's what she said. Honey mustard. I'll dip my fries in some honey mustard. Ranch. I'll dip my fry in some ranch. And ketchup smells so gross. It's just not good no matter what. Maybe a hot take, but buffalo sauce on fries is the best. I'll dip my fry in buffalo sauce. I'll dip my fry in just about anything. That they will, Max. That they will. And see, I think dipping, where are we at? And I think the reason potatoes are bland. French fries are bland. That's why you put salt. See, and when we dress up food, it's because the food itself is not very good. So we have to season it. Like a good steak doesn't need seasoned. See, potatoes need, because potatoes, like, nobody goes out and just eats a potato. You have to dress it up with at least salt, sour cream, butter, and then in its fry form, you have to dip it in condiments. Let's see. Dan says, nonsense. Vienna beef is heaven. Just George says, aioli sounds like a dirty word. We were messing around in bed and she shoved her finger in my aioli. Good Lord. Dip your fries in a chocolate shake. Saw that in an 80s McDonald's commercial and still do once in a while. That's a big thing, I think, with Wendy's, right? Dip your fries in a Wendy's, what are they, Frosty? Like, that's a big thing. But that is good. Like, you get the sweet and the salty. That's good. Bruce says fries without ketchup is like a baked potato without butter and sour cream. I'm with you on that. Although there's some French fries that I'll eat. Here's the thing. And this probably tells you this actually concerns me a little bit now that I think about it. When I go to, say, McDonald's and eat McDonald's fries, they're so good on their own. Like, I don't need fries or any condiments with a McDonald's French fry, which concerns me. Because if it was just a potato French fry, I'd be like, hey, where's the ketchup? Give me something to dress these French fries. So that's why it concerns, like, what is in a McDonald's French fry that makes it so damn delicious? So that's a little concerning. So I will eat McDonald's French fries. There are, I think it's Burger King. Their French fries are kind of, Wendy's, I think, has some terrible fries. Max says, like I said, okay to disagree on the Grail part. Your Earl is a white whale to you. I'd pass on it at a garage sale for 10 cents. Yeah. And if money were no object, I would pass on a Honus Wagner at a garage sale. If a Honus Wagner was for 10 cents at a garage sale, ooh. But if there was no monetary value attached, I don't want it. Let's see. I don't care what a dictionary says the definition. So you just make up your own. You just make up your own definition. James says sauerkraut omelet with Swiss cheese. You will thank me later. I've never even heard of that, but I'm willing to try. Jody says, beware. I opened 2 Pro Debut Jumbos in a hobby last night. 2 of the numbered autos and the foil was peeling on 2 of them. Quality stinks, and you need ketchup on a hot dog. Interesting. So I should find out Friday. Dude, where's my cards? Apparently on a UPS truck somewhere between Virginia and Wisconsin. And hopefully, fingers crossed, will be delivered at some point tomorrow. I'll probably rip 1 or 2 boxes live whenever they're delivered here on this YouTube channel. And then they'll be listed in my eBay store. I'll try to get them all listed Friday and Saturday. If they come in on Friday. Let's see. TD Sports Card says, I don't dress up a good old T-bone, though, all natural. Dan wants to know, do you like mayonnaise on your hamburger buns? I've never tried that. But I bet it would. I bet I might like that. Maybe I'll give that a whirl. I put like mayo on a ham sandwich, especially with tomato. Although I'm a Miracle Whip guy. I only really like mayo if it's a good mayo with a French fry. Otherwise, I'm like Team Miracle Whip. So my card. So Topps Pro Debut. Oh, Max says something. How about another Fanatics Topps blunder, though? Did we also talk about a third super showing up from Bowman? Yeah. So Fanatics Topps, there's all kinds of shit going on with them. So now a third superfractor of one of the players has surfaced. Which that, like, how does that happen? Like a second one, because they make second cards of in case of damage. So it's just kind of common for them to have extra superfractors. And I can see, these are all printing. It's all like done third party, and shit happens, mistakes happen. So, I think over time, we don't like, mistakes are not good, but mistakes do happen, especially the more and more you do. And kind of going into we're going to talk a little transportation today with another Topps debacle. When I worked in transportation, early on, like the first year or two that I was working, we would have our weekly sales meetings. And I think we were talking about, and we'd usually have topics. And one of our topics for one of the weeks was theft, was like, cargo theft, which is a big thing. Typically there's only a couple cities that cargo theft is. Chicago's like the number one city where cargo theft occurs. And so, and here we do a lot. Now, we were nationwide. We moved stuff all over, but a lot of our business was, Chicago based. So we talked about cargo theft, and I think one of the sales guys was like, well, we've never had a cargo theft. Like, why are we talking about this? And he'd worked there, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. He's like, we've never had this issue. However, we had grown substantially in the volume that we do. And my boss at the time was like, it's all about the numbers, and you will eventually run into it. It's all a numbers game. It's sometimes it may, people don't like PWE, and they may have bad luck. Like my PWE got lost, 2 of them got lost, and I've only shipped 10. That's 20%. That's really high. The more you do, that percent's going to go down, but you're going to have, say your first 100, you have no issues. Well, the more you do, the more, things happen. Kind of like with feedback, positive feedback on eBay. Well, I have 100% positive feedback, but you have 300 feedback. Once you have 3,000, 30,000, all of a sudden you're going to have like, oh, look at this account. They have all these negatives. Well, they still have, look at all the positives they have. They have, 40,000 positives, and 16 is a high number, but it's a numbers game. So mistakes happen. In transportation, we learned this week that Blowout Cards had some transit issues. So I always do my pre-order when I pre-order cards through Blowout, because I know I get them on release day. So if I put a pre-order in, if something comes out next Wednesday, I'll put my pre-order in today. And usually Sunday or Monday of release week, I get a shipping notification. It goes out on a truck Monday, and it's on my doorstep on Wednesday. That's why I like Blowout Cards. There's some of the other big online retailers, Dave and Adams, Steel City. It's kind of a crapshoot. And more times than not, I'm not receiving my boxes on release day. And I learned the lesson the hard way on one release. It's like, I'm going to say I can save $10 by going to, and I don't want to name which one it was, but it was one of the others. It was one of the 3, and it wasn't Blowout. So pick your poison. They were $10 cheaper than Blowout. And I'm like, oh, $10 cheaper. And guess what? Release people that ordered from Blowout were ripping on Wednesday, and my box didn't arrive until Friday. You're like, well, big deal. You had to wait 2 days. That's a huge deal when it comes to reselling. Yeah, if you're just opening it for fun, what's a couple days? But I'm not opening for fun. I'm opening to rip and flip. Fortunately, Topps Pro Debut is not really one of those where you have to be like Bowman Platinum last week. That's a product where you have to be, boom, right on top of it. Topps Pro Debut, Topps Heritage Minor League, those are kind of evergreen, and there is a shelf life on it. But these are cards that I can list, and I can still move them consistently through the off season going into spring training. So it's not like with any product, yes, you will sell more singles during the first few days of release, but it's something that is kind of evergreen, and you're gonna move stuff all along. So Blowout. I ordered a case of jumbo. I ordered a jumbo case from Blowout. And release week is this is release week. Wednesday, yesterday was release day. And Monday goes by, and we don't have a shipping notification. I'm on the Blowout forums. Nobody has their shipping notification. Well, shit. So now it's looking, if it's not shipped today, probably not going to get these until Thursday at the earliest. All of a sudden, Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, Blowout came out and said, hey, we've got some transit issues. I don't know if I can find, I don't know if they tweeted this. I can find it. But they basically sent out that, hey, we're having some issues with getting the cards from the factory. When was it? Man, Blowout Cards tweets a lot. Okay, geez, 23. I'm like scrolling. It's all the same shit too. Okay. So today's what, Thursday? So now I'm on Tuesday's tweets. So, okay. So here we go. So here is what Blowout on Tuesday sent out. And it says, unfortunately, 2023 Topps Pro Debut Baseball, Hobby, and Jumbo shipments may be delayed due to delays in transit from the manufacturer. Orders will ship when the product arrives in our warehouse processing center. We appreciate your patience and will provide further updates as we receive info from Topps and or the logistical carrier. I'm like, shit. That doesn't even give us a time. Like, oh, we're going to get them on Wednesday. So they're going to be, it's like, shit, they don't even know when they're going to get them. So I'm like, now is it going to be next week? I'm itching to rip. So I reach out to a card shop owner and I said, hey, are you getting any Topps Pro Debut this week? Because I'm curious. Like, okay. And here's why I was most curious. Blowout, one of the largest retailers of sealed wax, is delayed from the manufacturer. But yet there were singles being listed on eBay. People were ripping and listing as early as Saturday. What's that? 4 days, 5 days before release? But the biggest retailer is delayed? Something smells fishy. And so I wanted to reach out more. So I wasn't interested in actually buying from somewhere else. It was kind of like, hey, what's going on with Pro Debut? And I just want to see, how other shops are dealing with this. And so my tinfoil hat came on. Is Fanatics picking favorites? Are they releasing early to their favorite vendors? And if, say somebody's not breaking on their platform or following their new rules, are they going to create delays? So I've got my little conspiracy hat on. So I reach out to the card shop owner. I'm like, hey, you getting any Topps Pro Debut this week? And says, funny you ask, just got my shipment a little bit ago. So this was Tuesday. This was Tuesday afternoon, I think. And so the funny thing was, it was delivered in a van straight from the factory. It was like, and I think I don't know if I tweeted this or on the Blowout forums, I put a third-party driver. They're all third parties because Topps doesn't have their own trucks. So they're all third-party carriers, third-party drivers, just depending on which freight company or delivery company they use. But it was delivered. It was kind of like you see, especially during the holiday season, like Amazon or UPS, like just random vans are delivering your packages. It's not like a UPS marked truck. So this was just some dude in a van. He sent me a picture. He sent me the picture of his pallet. And so there's his pallet of cards and then another shop's pallet. And then a bed, a cooler, like a grocery bag. Like the dude's like living the van life, delivering Topps cards straight from the factory to these card shops. I'm like, wow. He goes, so I'm not surprised because there's a lot of logistical issues. And that's my background for how many ever years, 8 years I worked at. So my speculation, like initially I had my tinfoil hat on and I'm thinking conspiracy theory. They're picking favorites on who they're sending the product to first. After this conversation, I'm like, oh no, this is just, my speculation is there's probably some type of contract dispute with a carrier. Now, I do know they use Old Dominion, which is an LTL carrier, less than truckload. For like some of the bigger shipments. Obviously, the smaller shipments go, parcel, FedEx, UPS. So it's like I'm sure if some of the card shops, they're getting freight product by the pallet, they're going like Old Dominion. And if this particular card shop usually gets it Old Dominion, but now gets it in some dude's van, there's probably some type of dispute with the carrier. It could be a driver shortage with that particular carrier. It could be a contract dispute, based on pricing. There's a lot that goes into it. So I no longer have my tinfoil hat on. So I just think there's just a dispute, and it just unfortunate timing with all of the other issues that Topps/Fanatics is having. So fortunately, we did receive, those that ordered on Blowout received their shipping notifications yesterday. My case is on a UPS truck. It has left Chantilly, Virginia. It is en route. UPS says it'll be delivered on Friday. So hopefully that is the case. And I'll be ripping, flipping, and shipping Topps Pro debut this weekend. So that was my Dude Where's My Cards. I also want to touch on the soft market. Let's check the chat real quick. Let's see. Flawed Thinker says, hopefully I can make it to the Chantilly show tomorrow, trying to let go of some higher end of the dealers before the main show starts. Very nice. We've got quite a few shows this week. Chantilly is this weekend. There's the Peoria show is this weekend at the Louisville Slugger Complex. I think that's a 3-day show, Friday through Sunday. I'll be in Janesville on Sunday. So come check out the Janesville show, over 100 tables in Janesville on Sunday. I'll be there. Shane says, Spiral, cut your hot dogs, throw some seasoning on them and toss them in the smoker. No ketchup needed. Just George says, if you were making a grilled cheese, mayo on the outside of the bread is great for that crispy brown. Whoa! That could be a life changer, man. I am definitely going to try that. Big Harv says, I think I'm going to stop watching with the Miracle Whip take. Miracle Whip. But it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. It's okay. Mistakes are not okay, but mistakes happen. Getting product 2 days late is okay. Losing a ton of profit, getting product a few days late is okay. None of that is okay. None of that is okay. But it happens. And see, this is why I don't work in transportation anymore. Because mistakes, when you work in logistics, mistakes happen every day, constantly. And that sucks. So mistakes are not okay, but they happen. They happen a lot. I had a customer buys a lot of cards from me, but bought like 10 or 12 cards, and I'm going through, can't find one. It's a mistake. Is it okay? No. Does it happen? Yes. Flawed Thinker says, not sure how some people can break street date that early. A whatnot breaking company I watch never breaks street date. People always ask why, and they say it's so they can keep getting product. Yeah, and it continues to happen. I don't understand how it can continue to happen, but it does. Maybe they're having disputes with UPS. Got to be able to afford those pay raises for the drivers. Well, this is not a UPS. Like, it's actually on a UPS truck. So it's whoever Fanatics uses. And I'm guessing it's through, because my thought is the people that got it early are probably, and I don't know who, does anybody know who got it early? I would be just based on allocation, because we know Blowout is large volume and they're going to be getting pallets. So it's going to be on a freight company. The card shop I talked with also gets it by the pallet. So it's a freight company. So, and he told me it's Old Dominion that they receive it from. So, I don't think it's a UPS issue. I think it's, one of the LTL carriers, potentially Old Dominion. Breaking street date is a quick way to get cut off. So I wanted to run some numbers yesterday. Because my impressions continue to dwindle, And this is a slow time of the year, especially if you're a baseball card seller. But I looked back a year ago, it's like, well, I'm like, my numbers this month are really shitty. Even with a weekend spike this past weekend, my numbers are still pretty shitty. So Dave says David Adams got it on Monday. So that's interesting. So blowouts in Virginia. David Adams is in New York. Where's the where are they? And I know GC Packaging in Texas prints a lot of it. So if David Adams got it on Monday, so Blowout would have got it on probably Monday also. So it may, and maybe it's a one-off, although this other shop would have been on a different truck. So maybe it was just a one-off missed pickup or something. So so I ran some numbers. I wanted to look at what last year I did with my shipping, or with my sales, and with impressions. So my impressions the past 30 days was just under 16 million impressions, which is low. Same time period a year ago, just under 18 million impressions. So I have dropped 2 million impressions. It's like, well, 16 to 18, that's a drop, but is that very significant? Well, when you dive in, when you drill down, yes, because I currently have over 45,000 active listings. A year ago, I averaged about 22,000 active listings. So I have more than doubled my active listings, yet my impressions, the eyeballs that are seeing my listings, have dropped from 18 million to 16 million in a 30-day period. And then I went back a year prior. I wasn't able to get September to October. So I did October to November of the same, October 18th through November 18th of 2021. My impressions were 7.5 million. You're like, wow, you've grown quite a bit. But I only had about 4,000 items listed in that time period. So the market is soft. And that's why I say, and those are the numbers, if you want to do this full time, like I'm doing, volume, like if I was back in the office doing my logistics gig and I was doing this as a side hustle, I'm like, I'm going to do this full time. Looking at those numbers, and because I wouldn't be where I am now, right? I'd be starting from where I was at 2 years ago. And I'd be like, no, the numbers just won't work. Fortunately, the timing was right. And so I'm able to withstand some of these ebbs and flows and just continue to list. Now, there's going to be a time when I max out those listings. I'm going to have to pay more for more listings, and we'll go from there and see. And sometimes you have to adjust on the fly. You have to, instead of selling a bunch of $1.75 cards, now I've got to up my game, and I've got to go find deals in bulk on $5 and $10 and $20 cards and all that. So it's all about evolving, and sometimes it leads to having to evolve in what you do. Let's see. Max says product getting listed early has always happened, unfortunately, but until Topps Panini fanatics have a reason to combat it, nothing will happen. And sometimes Topps with Bowman, I got Bowman directly from Topps the Saturday before released on Wednesday, and my boxes straight from Topps came on Saturday. And you're damn right I'm ripping and shipping and ripping and flipping and shipping. Let's see. Jody says mine was from my LCS. TD Sports Card says my impressions are like a downward slope every Friday over the last 4 weeks, like half from a month ago, just about the same percentage every week, even though I am selling more. Well, that's good, because the ultimate number we need is sales. So as long as those sales impressions are good, it's a good gauge. I think impressions is impressions don't make you money, but it's a good analytic, especially from the macro view of, hey, where are we at? These are how many people are actually seeing your listing. So they've gone out to search for baseball cards or what Bryce Harper or whatever they're looking for. And, impressions mean it's kind of a macro viewpoint of the market and how many people are seeing your items, whatever they may be, baseball cards, books, car parts, whatever it might be. Let's see. So that's what I had for today. So hopefully, fingers crossed, do we have an update? Do we have a shipping update on my cards? Hopefully they will be delivered tomorrow. Again, I will rip at least one box, potentially two. I did get the jumbo case of Topps Pro Debut. And then I think I'm going to probably list like one box at a time. So as I rip the first two, I'll just upload those to my eBay store. I'll rip a box, list a box, rip a box, list a box. So it looks like it departed Chantilly last night at 11:08 p.m., but no updates since. So hopefully it's on like a plane. But I think they did upgrade. I think Blowout did upgrade the shipping, which is awesome. So hopefully it does get here. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit up my eBay store, scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Link also in the description to this video. We'll be on tomorrow morning, same time, 7 a.m. Central. It's a free-for-all Friday. We play Name That Player. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe baseball, maybe football. Who knows? Game time decision. So tune in tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll see you Friday.